The technical challenges which we faced were quite substantial, particularly given the ridiculous time frame which Robert gave us to produce this thing. 5 months from start to finish is not ideal, and the product is obviously still evolving and will become a far more sophisticated product by next season. But we met our 5-month deadline. We got up for the first race, which was a really great achievement. Getting data off the water in real time represents a huge problem because some of the venues that P1 go to are not exactly technologically enhanced in the data sense. So we're ending up using GPRS network and GPS and GPRS combined. We've done well because by this stage of the season we get a lag of only 12 seconds between live off the water and serving off our San Jose servers back to your viewer on your desk. That includes the 9-second built-in internet latency. So we're doing really well. We expect that to be completely live by the time we go to an RF solution. Virtual Spectator is not only just delivering an internet experience for the viewer at home, and part of the purpose for Virtual Spectator in the first place was to grow the audience for P1. Unlike television where you have to get up at 3 in the morning if you're in the States to watch these things, obviously you don't. You can just download it, look at it at any time. You can watch it live if you choose to, but you can download it when you get up in the morning. If you're a powerboat enthusiast, you can rewind it, forward it, you can pause on things, you can look at things in 3D. It's very impressive. But we also provide a television tool using exactly the same technology. So Greenlight Television, which do the Powerboat P1 television coverage, have our television tool in their studios, and they generate all the content for analysis after the race using that tool. And the system also drives the big screen at the venue, so the venue experience is enhanced by having Virtual Spectator on the big screen for the crowd. It was a global collaboration with the VS Group, which was a first for us. Our group is based in Auckland, Melbourne and Oklahoma City. And we tend to operate pretty much independently of each other. We have specialist areas. This particular project required all parts of the group to work together. And it was a fantastic experience for all of us. So, you know, we've had people up at 3 in the morning in Auckland and sort of 2 in the morning in Oklahoma and all kinds of things. It's been a lot of fun, actually. Well, I've talked about the deadline. The opportunities for P1 in particular with this technology are enormous. We believe that we're going to hit that youth market. It's a cool 3D game-like experience. And we believe that Powerboat P1 will attract a huge youth audience. People that are not necessarily into powerboat racing at this point, but we hope they will become once they get to play with this thing. But it's a game-like experience, so we're going to attract somewhat the geek crowd, as well as obviously the powerboat people. All the teams already use this to analyse the races afterwards. All of the owners are watching these races live. We've got all of the people that are actually enthusiastic about P1 racing logging onto this thing, and we're getting massive feedback from these people. The outcome, of course, is that everyone wins. It's free to the public. They can go onto virtualspectator.com or they can go onto powerboatp1.com, download the 3D viewer for free and watch all the races live. The races are retained on the system so they can go back and review the season, they can review any race, they can review any incident. And the upshot of all of this, of course, is that we're going to end up with a larger global reach. Without me waffling any further, what I'll do is hopefully this will work, and I'll be able to show you a real-life example of P1 in action. So.
We couldn't see who was in the first place, but it's going to be the cigarette going through the start line here, or the extension of the start line in first place. Lots of boat speed then for the fantastic one. Lucas Oils leaping through in second place. Shelley wanting to hang on and wants that control at the first mark. It's a long way to the first mark. Honeyparty.com slowing up already. It's slowing right off the plane in fourth place. Coming through Fountain Worldwide in third and being overtaken by, that's Panolio 53 was early on it, but an early drop out then for honeyparty.com. Richard Carr is going to be really upset about that. They said they'd solved their electrical problems, their gremlins. They're back up to speed again, but a problem for that honeyparty.com and Mark Pascoe. Back up to speed they are, but let's look to the first turn mark now. And as they arrive there, around that mark goes in first place, guess who? There's all sorts of nightmares happening at the moment. The boat's
So
going from one way to the other. And, oh my goodness gracious me.
if I can interject here, what I want to show is on the Saturday, this is, in fact on the Friday, we, from a sporting and technical perspective, we realised that the first turn on the course was very sharp, and a lot of the teams had mentioned that they felt it was too sharp. So what we did, our sporting and technical director introduced a second buoy. The first buoy on the course is called buoy B. You go through the start gate, that's A, and you get down to the first turn, which is B. And it's not uncommon to introduce a second buoy just to soften the turn off, so it's not completely perpendicular. So it was buoy B1 and B2. And a number of the teams appear to have forgotten about B1, and all headed for B2. Two of the teams got buoy B1 right, but the ensuing confusion is shown here, it was absolutely fantastic. Without the technology, it would have been quite difficult to really showcase exactly how confusing it all was. For the pilots in the blue boat that happened to be leading, we'll cut back to them in a minute, but they said it was like fighter plane alley. They had boats coming either side of them. It was quite an entertaining experience. But we put this back on the big screen when all the teams had come back, and there was everything from sort of shock, horror, derision, humour. It was quite amazing. So very unique to all of the background. Is realistic. When you get up close, it's all high-resolution photography that's stitched together, so you can literally see the house or the flat that you've been staying in for the weekend.
So the whole idea of this tool was to essentially give the viewer at home a television-like experience, but allow them to be the director. I mean, one of the problems with television is that television tells a story. A picture is painted by a director, but it's his story. Cameras cut away and do differing things based on what he wants to show you. What this gives you, particularly when combined with P1 radio, which is live and has the same internet latency that the viewer does, so you're getting a live experience, is it allows you to be the director. And I think that this is where it's going to tie in a lot of the youth market, because they're going to get in there and tell their own stories and make their own video clips, etc. So the opportunities for advertising and for revenue generation through this product are quite enormous. And this is incarnation number 1, so download it and watch it evolve. The system automatically updates every time we go to a new race. If there's any program enhancements, it's a very cool thing. You can turn all of these things on and off, so you can turn the velocities on and off, you can turn the boat trails on and off, so you get more of a real-time television type experience. And you can look at these from literally any angle. You can even get on board the boat. So if you wanted to go to helm cam, and you can actually see what it's like to be going at 160 kilometres an hour on the water.
I think what we'd like to work towards in terms of next year's development is the opportunity, I think a couple of the other speakers alluded to it, where members of the public and fans can actually enter their own boat and race against real-time boats in this environment. Yeah. And you really, what you're getting to is the convergence of gaming technology and virtual spectator technology, where the platforms are almost near on identical now.
Yeah. You can see on the right here, it gives you the speed of each of the boats and the lap that they're on and the position that they're in the race. So powerboating is it's a difficult sport for spectators to understand, because they lap each other, and by using this technology we can keep people informed very easily as to where everyone is within the event. So when you combine it with the radio coverage, you get this TV type experience, and it's a very cool thing to get for free. So we think that this is going to revolutionise powerboating as far as numbers are concerned. We're on target to reach our download targets. We expect that we should be getting at least 250,000 downloads this season, and we're looking to increase that obviously next season and the season after that.
And then we start charging.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.